Alright, welcome back to Lenz Comic Corner, Classic Less Non-Classic. This is episode number 2723 and Doubleshot number 2617. Basically this one, I'm discussing a omnibus again, but this time I actually have I can show the cover of this one. Some issues of All-Star Squadron, basically be issues 1924 along with Infinity Incorporated Saga, Book 1. The first book we have is New Warriors Omnibus Volume 2, which collects New Warriors issues 27 to 53, annuals 3 and 4. Night Thrasher, is opening story from issue number 1 and issues 11 and 12. Nova Volume 2 issues 6 to 7. The Ashcan Edition, Mark Comic presents 122 and 120, 59, 63, and Mar Holiday Special number 2. There is going to be skipping this one. Yes, there will be some skipping. Oh yeah, the book also collects issues from X-Force 32, 33, which I've discussed those already, and Night Thrasher for Control. And in the case of for New Warriors, I am skipping over 31 because I discussed that in I think it was like a X-Force, basically 31, 45, and 46. Skipping these issues mainly because these are collected in X-Force trades already. So we'll start with issue number 27. 27 is basically Speedball battling an evil version of himself. And also Rage battling an evil version called Enraged. And his is called Blackball. Yes. Who first read Infinity War number 1? Yeah, basically the whole thing Infinity War is that doppelgangers. Of course. Yeah, that's the big thing with this one. With issue 28. We have debut of a new character named Turbo. Yes, her real name is Mickey Mashuni. She is not technically the original Turbo. No. The original Turbo was somebody named Mike Jeffries. Yeah, that was the one that debuted in issue like 28 as well. Let's see, I think it may have been Torpedo. Yeah, it may have been Torpedo I was thinking of. But yeah, fairly new character, and she becomes basically part of the Warriors. She actually joins pretty much with her not long after her debut appearance. Oh yeah, it was Torpedo I was thinking of, yes. Basically, she joins, not immediately per se, but she appears a few times throughout the book, per se. Zal's first appearance is someone named Cardinal, also known as Harrier. He is a villain associated with the Masses of Evil. He's basically a minor villain. That's basically with 28. 29. By the way, this is basically Nova working with a bunch of girls. Basically him, Namora, Firestar, and Sleuth. Issue 29, basically we had the first appearance people Armed Forces Front. This is a group of characters from they don't say exactly where they're from. Oh yeah, they all spell the force of nature. Yeah. This sadly put for the force of nature to be the penultimate in this book. They return again in 36 and would not appear again until issue 26 Avengers Initiative. Appear a few times after that, and that's basically it for them. Not the big a villain group per se, but they're okay. Yeah, 30 of course basically seals with force nature. We have death of a character named General Handala, who just showed up previous issue. And after dealing with the force of nature for a couple issues, we're going to skip our 31 and go straight to issue 32. 32 is basically the Force of Darkness crossover. Yep. Force of Darkness, Force of Light. This is a storyline that starts with issue number 32, and I think wraps up with issue number 36. Which also has Cloak and Dagger, Spider-Man, Archangel, Doctor Strange. It's all taken on the First Princess character named Asylum. Yeah. Yeah, he's basically here for 32, 34, and he also appears in the third annual, which is part of this very storyline. It's basically kind of the conclusion to the story arc. Their story isn't there. There's Tough Choices, which basically is Speedball dealing with a bowler named Chuck Farley. There's a spring character named Brittany Hope, who is basically one of Speedball's classmates. The annual also deals with the 2 turbos, taking on a character named Weapon Y. Yes. Which, when I look at this guy, he kind of looks like basically like he looks like a Cable ripoff. And apparently have an universe version of Dan Slott Famous CD to pop up this annual. Yep. Yep, and after this 4-parter, after the story wraps up, and then they're being targeted by a group known as Air Force. Yep, who basically appear a few times in this book per se. They appear in this book, and then they are move over to Ninth for a couple issues, and they pop up again for issue 54 to discuss that another time. Oh yeah, one member is Killer Strike. Yes, a character first appearing in Rampaging Hulk. 36, basically, this is just Vance Astrick. Look like I think he's in close to that present. I think, if I remember correctly, he gets the first issue 40. This is basically built to him being released. After committing manslaughter. We also have the death of a character named Jenny Staples, who was a character from Rampage. I think this is basically... Oh yeah, this is Rage's grandmother. Yeah, she dies in this issue, sadly. And of course, basically, this guy named Astro, who's part of the vicious gang known as the Poison Memories, he gets killed off in this issue. He gets killed off very next issue. Maybe Rage is basically avenging his grandmother's death. 39. Ooh, consider thought-provoking. Yeah, basically, Namora kissing Nova. Yeah, this does happen. Yeah, 40, basically, Nova seems like goes out to space for an issue. It's called Star Lost. Yeah. Which is a multi-part story arc, and starts issue 40. Continues on to 43, where you can take on... Where there's also Evil Nova. Basically, it's Supernova. Yeah, he returns this book. After he last appeared in Avengers 303, he appears here for this 3-parter, and then he pops over for Nova's book. We even have Firelord appear here too. Yep. And then Vance Ashford joins the New Warriors, issue 43, after being released from prison. Oh, and the cover for issue 44, the Omnibus does give basically a backstory for this cover. Yes, this is an actual model. They actually painted her this way. And there's photos of her for this particular cover. Which, okay. And she's supposed to be a live-action. She was like almost like a live-action version of Namora if she was out of water. And Namor's in issue 2. 45. Okay, this is basically... the 45, like I mentioned, is discussed already in the X-Force stuff. So moving to 47. 47 is part of a story known as Time and Again. This involves basically These are your parts. Part 1 is New Warriors 47. Part 2 is Night Thrasher 11. 3 is Nova Volume 2 6. 4, New Warriors 48. 5, Night Thrasher 12. Let's see. Part 6 is Nova Volume 2 number 7. Part 7 is Part 7 or 8 is New Warriors 4 to 50. The biggest thing about this thing, it leads to a big humongous brawl between Nova and his old arch enemy, the Sphinx. It's an excellent crossover. I do recommend checking it out. It is amazing. Yeah, not a bad issue. And I believe Famous Caesar writes this whole crossover. Yeah, he does. And the stuff here with Night Thrasher in here, it just really a lot of fun. Yeah, it culminates basically with a new speedball joining the group named Darren Grobe. Yep. He joins the group and he's only around for this. He's basically Ultraversion Speedball. And, well, he's gone by the end of the book. But he technically first showed up. Now, I should talk about briefly, before I continue here with New Warriors, talk about basically the Mark Presents issues. Start with issue 122. (122) is called Tape Confessions. It's basically New Warriors became interview. It's basically Speedball getting interviewed. That's mostly exactly what it is. 159 to 163. This 5-part story arc, this five issues, is basically a New Warrior story. Basically, Rage, Speedball, and Turbo with Slapstick take on a character named Dr. Yesterday, who only appears in this 5-parter. Once this 5-part wraps up, he never appears ever again. They defeat him by the end of the story. I do appreciate the fact they give him some spotlight in the Mark Presents. I think it basically, this little feature Mark Presents basically is like a bonus story for New Warriors. But estimating 3 issues of this book. Bandit leaves team and Sleuth. Bandit later becomes the new Night Thrasher in the 2000s. Yep. Sleuth basically was his love interest. She was the woman who's disabled and and by the way, New Warriors, their roster is huge at this point. Yes, by issue 51. These are your members. Nova, Power Pack, this is from Alex Power Pack, Dagger, Hindsight Lad, Darkhawk, Speedball, Bandit with this issue quits, Rage, Firestar, Justice, there was Night Thrasher, Turbo, Kimura, and Slith. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 members. You're like, damn. Does it get shut down by the next issue? A little bit, yes. Yeah, and then basically we have the Cymex pair in these issues. Pairs in the basically 52 for this one issue. And then appearing in issue 60. Issue 53 basically deals with the Math Maniac. But we're not done here just yet. No. There's still also one more annual to discuss here. Yep. Another annual. Really? Another annual? Yes. And number 4. The 4th and final annual of the entire series. It's basically like they also feature Cobalt Blue from pages of Thunderstrike. The Phoenix they take over the cover. The cover itself is a loose homage to Giant Sex number 1. They're basically in the opening story, and then Speedball has his own story with Chuck Farley. And then Powerless, basically, you have Firestick and a Rapist. But yeah, that's pretty much the issues in that show. Great issues. Love New Warriors. Give this book a 10 out of 10. Next up we have is some All-Star Squadron. We'll first start with issues 19 and 24. Yeah, basically the JSA now also Squadron. So I thought I did a little research, so I actually had reviewed the first NT issue already, thanks to reviewing Showcase Presents All Star Squadron Volume 1. They only trade released 1 to 2 trades. The other, of course, was the Infinity Saga. Now, I'm discussing issue 924 for good reason, because 1, they're not collecting a trade, and 2, why not talk about this awesome series? Yeah, so this issue in particular is Return of the JSA. Yep, the JSA return in this issue. And take on a character named Brainwave. Yep. The JSA at this point in time, of course, is set in the 40s, comprised of the original Adam Albrecht, Dr. Fate, Kent Nelson, Dr. Midnight, who is Charles McIder, Hawkman, Carter Hall, Johnny Thunder, Sandman, the Spectre, Starman, who's still Ted Knight, Thunderbolt, and the Golden Age Wonder Woman. Also, Squadron at this point in time is comprised of Commander Steel, Firebrand, Johnny Quick, Johnny Liberty Bell, Robot Man, and Tarantula. Those of you asking, who the heck are these characters? Commander Steel is a Jerry comic character who debuted just a few years prior to this one. We have a short-lived comic, and he's basically heavily featured in this book. Robot Man, whose last name is Robert Grayson. He is not related to Dick Grayson at all. It's just similar last name. Liberty Bell was a speedster who debuted in, I don't think it was this book per se. She debuted in Boy Commandos. She's basically a speedster who was the mother of the second Liberty Bell and Jesse Quick. Johnny Quick. He first showed up in Morphin Comics 71, which is the same issue debuted. Of all people, it debuted the Spectre, and I believe it also debuted, let's see, it was fewer characters. It was a Spectre, Dr. Fate. Yeah. So Spectre and Dr. Fate also debuted in the same issue. We got 3 debuts in the same issue. Yeah. Robot Man. Robert Crane, excuse me, Robert Crane. Yeah, he's the original man, not the, he debuted in Star Trek Comics number 7. And Tarantula, this is the original one, not the one Deborah Grace created. This is Jonathan Law, who debuted in Star Trek Comics number 1. Here's a little fun fact for you about Tarantula. He is from Bloodhaven, and Nightwing actually lives in his old apartment. Yep. Yeah. I'm also supposed to take on Brainwave. By the way, the issues written by Roy Thomas, art by Jerry Ordway. The very next issue, Brainwave teams up with the Earth 2 Joker, Luthor, and Colic. Other with Illusion with Brainwave. And then, like, 21, basically, we have the first appearance of Cyctron, Deadbolt, and the Ultra Human appears in this. Yes. Deadbolt himself, basically, is not the same one appears in regular continuity. Yeah, he's a character who only appeared mostly in this book, per se. He's sort of a retcon character. He debuted in Action Comics number 21. Oh yeah, Terry Curtis. That's basically, yeah, Terry Curtis is basically just some criminal who basically, and this is the guy who's the father of Al Robbins, aka Atom Smasher. Yeah, and Dreadbolt. This is his debut appearance, and he would appear only mostly in this book per se. Yep. The Ultra Human Knife. This actually was his return first time since X number 21. Yeah, then this whole story leads into the debut of the the Infinity Incorporated. Yes, because of Ultra Human Knife. So and of course we have the debut of the Amazing Man, who this is his first appearance. Yeah, this is the original Amazing Man who died in Justice League America number 87. He does have a grandson who also is Amazing Man too. He died. He debuted in Justice League America 86. Died in Starman Volume 2 38. As his first grandson. Second one was Marcus Clay, who also became Amazing Man in Justice League America Volume 12. He was a villain who became a superhero. And it goes backstory here, which is so cool. The fact that Jerry Thomas created a brand new character. And then we have Tarantula, whole story involving him, and of course his debut of Braylo Jr. and Chuck Grayson, who was assistant to Robot Man. Apparently, this guy is Dick Grayson's cousin. Yep, and this leads into the 25th issue. This amazing series. With the debut of Infinity Incorporated, which seems like a bit of time traveling when they first show up here. Yes. And then this leads to issue 26. Because it's still the Ultra Human Eye here for this one. And then this leads into the annual. The second ever annual for All-Star Squadron. Called the Ultra War. Where Brayman Jr. joins up with the Infinity Incorporated. But they're not named just yet. They're basically kind of assembled here. Oh, in case you're curious though, how many annuals All Squadron would have after this one? They would have one more. And that was it. Yep. This annual will serve as back power to the Infinity Incorporated series. The Infinity Incorporated themselves, they were offered to... They wanted to join the JSA. They said no because they were too young. And of course, basically, Power Girl didn't like it very much at all. The fact that JSA were being dicks about their old methods. So Power Girl, Robin, and the Star Spangled Kid who became Skyman, they all quit the JSA because of this nonsense. In story. So they all quit, and, well, basically Star Spangled Kid basically decided to form his own separate group. The Infinity Incorporated wants all these people to join. Like, cool. And Brave was joining too. Yep. Huntress also quit too. Robin was technically still part of the group. But basically Ultra Human Eye is still kind of in the story because it continues over from the also Squadron stuff. And it's still amazing stuff here. Also, Batman's involved in here too. Flashback involving him. Then we have in issue 3, we have, get this, the Infinity Incorporated fighting their first bad guy who's not the Ultra Humanite, Solomon Grundy. And they mentioned Alan Scott this year. He's like, wait, your friend Alan Scott? You're my enemy. He's going to beat the crap out of them. Yes, and the fact that he basically loses the brainwave. Yeah, it's so funny. Yeah, and also Superman gets brainwashed to fight the JSA. The Earth 2 JSA. The Earth 2 Superman, mind you. Yeah. And then by the end of issue 4, the JSA are dead. But don't worry, they'll be back, don't worry. And of course, also, the other members of Infinity Incorporated are Jade Obsidian, which when they first showed up, they also tell a little backstory of the fact that Jade found she was adopted. That she tells Alan, hey, you're my dad. And he's like, okay, who's your mom? We have no idea. They will not find out until number 1 for Incorporated. That's when they find out who their parents are. And of course, Silver Scarab is in the book. He is the son of Carter Hall, aka Hawkman. Fury, this is of course is pre-crisis. She is the daughter of Earth 2 Steve Trevor and Earth 2 Wonder Woman. Nucleon is Alfred's godson. North Whirlwind. Yeah, he's not that big of a character. He's not the son of like some popular superhero. Yeah, he's probably the only. He's probably like the only original character. Actually, he's more like. Let's see. Okay, he's Hawkman's godson. Yeah, so just like with Silver Scarab, basically they're related to Hawkman. Nuclear himself basically operates as Godfather, but his father is somebody else. Of course, at one point he thought basically that his father was Alpert. Then it turns out, nope, it's actually somebody else. It's actually some guy named, some completely different guy. But yeah, the opening 4 issues book is amazing, and I can't wait for you the best. I love the artwork by Jerry Ordway. It's so amazing. Now, will I be continuing reviewing also Squadron and Infinity Corporate in the future? Yes, because both these series are amazing. And I really, really wish DC would do more trades with this stuff, because this book is awesome. So I give All-Star Squadron issues 19 to 24 a 10 out of 10. And I also give Infinity Incorporated Generation Saga Book 1 a 10 out of 10. Yep, so yes, that's particular of you. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and do hit the dislike button. Next up is going to be One Piece. Okay, next video. Bye.